With AEW signing so many ex-WWE wrestlers, I thought it would be a cool video to list every single former WWE wrestler that works for AEW now. To my count, there are 47 people who jumped ship. With that being said, let's get right onto the video with the first name. Cody Rhodes is the first former WWE wrestler to be a part of AEW since he was one of the masterminds behind the entire project alongside Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and Tony Khan. Without Rhodes, I don't think AEW would have ever been a thing. Cody is the only person on this list that left AEW on his own terms to most likely return to WWE very soon. The biggest signing for AEW in 2019 is the legend in the business, Chris Jericho. People really didn't expect to see him sign with the company other than WWE. The New Japan match against Omega seemed like a one and done situation, but in reality it turned out to be a long run with All Elite Wrestling. I think Chris Jericho was crucial for the company's success in the first couple of years. Before leaving WWE, Neville seemed like he could have been a big name for WWE, but unfortunately they just put him in the cruiserweight division and he really didn't accomplish too much. That is why Pac left and then joined AEW. It seems like he's experiencing the same issue though, as he really isn't a part of too many important storylines. Leaving WWE and joining AEW was the best thing Dustin Rhodes could have done for his career. Goldust was a cool character, but he wasn't going anywhere. In AEW, at least he's had some really good matches. Jon Moxley's debut in AEW was perfect. I don't think too many people expected him to appear at the ending of Double or Nothing, but he did, and it was awesome. Moxley went on to have a very successful career in AEW, and he is currently one of their top guys. Matt Hardy left WWE in 2020 and then later joined AEW right when the pandemic began. His debut did not feature any fans, but he did teleport. Hardy has been with the company since then, jumping from story to story trying to help the younger athletes get over. Luke Harper had so much potential in WWE, especially during that WrestleMania 33 run. Vince McMahon never pulled the trigger though, and then he left. Brody Lee proved that he could hang with the top guys. He was incredible in the ring and cut the best promos of his wrestling career. It is sad that we lost him, but I'm glad we got to witness that late great run. The Revival was one of the biggest jokes in WWE. Heck, the tag team division was also really dead around the time when they left. The two had enough and wanted to leave to join a promotion that took tag team wrestling seriously. That is why they joined AEW. They did see success early on, but they haven't done too much since. It's probably because they have way too much talent right now. Lance Archer had a small run in WWE back in 2009 and 2010, but it didn't go too far and he eventually left to wrestle around the world, most notably in New Japan. Tony Khan signed him in 2020 and he's been a good hand for All Elite Wrestling. I remember Trent Beretta in ECW back in 2010. It's funny because he didn't have a beard and was a lot smaller than the other guys back then, so it was pretty fun to see him, but Trent's clearly found his identity and has a good look now. I think he fits really well with the Best Friends tag team. Luchasaurus was a part of the NXT brand under the name of Judas Devlin in the early days of that brand when Neville and that group of guys were wrestling. That run did not work out and then he became Luchasaurus and now he's currently a tag team champion in AEW. Tay Conti was a part of NXT for a few years, but she never really amounted to much under the brand, and after being released, she joined AEW, where I would say she found a good home for herself. Jack Swagger was a complete bust in WWE. It felt like McMahon was trying really hard to recreate Kurt Angle, and I'll just say that Jack Swagger did not have that swag. Jake Hager then joined AEW to basically become Chris Jericho's bodyguard, and he's been decent, but I feel like he could do so much more, but it is what it is. Evan Bourne's most memorable moment in WWE was that RKO by Randy Orton. Other than that, he was pretty forgettable. SYDAL then wrestled in the Indies for a while before officially joining All Elite Wrestling. Tye Dillinger didn't do much in WWE other than appear at the Royal Rumble at the number 10 spot to go with his gimmick. I'm sure WWE even released him because fans kept yelling 10 during any counts, and that was probably annoying to Vince. For whatever reason they actually released him, he signed with AEW in the early stages and has been with them for over 3 years now. To this day, I still don't understand how WWE ruined Rusev. He was one of the most over acts ever, and then they really turned him into a cuck after that Lashley and Lana storyline. Thankfully, Tony Khan took him and gave him an excellent run as the TNT champion. He's got to come back soon to AEW TV though, because he clearly is being missed by AEW fans. Billy Gunn is a WWE legend from the Attitude Era. Gunn then made a return in the mid-2010s with Road Dogg even becoming tag team champions. Anyways, he joined AEW and has been helping the kids in the back. He's even wrestled with his kids, which is really cool to see. Despite having a pretty lackluster career in WWE, Sting is technically a former / ex-wrestler from that promotion. Tony Khan made sure to do right by his legacy and has booked him really well since his debut. Sting is definitely a solid piece of AEW success right now. 2.0 just joined forces with Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, and Daniel Garcia. That's a good role for them, and I'm sure it'll help get them over. This is definitely a step up from their tag team run in NXT. Vicky Guerrero was a WWE employee for a very long time, and I personally thought that she was going to be WWE for life, but she surprisingly joined AEW. She isn't featured too much nowadays, but it's cool that she does have a job. Andrade is one of those talents that had so much potential, but he never got over because Vince McMahon just didn't see anything too special in him, probably because he didn't speak English too well. It is a shame because he's so good. Andrade asked for his release and it was granted, and he now works for AEW, but I will say that he's been struggling to even secure a role in this promotion. Aleister Black's release is still one of the strangest things ever. WWE kept him off of TV for months, they brought him back only to release him the next week when they were going to start a new feud between him and Big E. I don't get it, however he did land a job with AEW and has been a prominent figure under Tony Khan's booking. Let's call it how it is. Big Show left WWE and then finessed Tony Khan for a contract, and I don't even know what he does other than commentary, but good for him. You gotta fleece who you gotta fleece. Christian Cage was an excellent signing for AEW. I think that joining All Elite Wrestling was better for his career, as I feel like he wouldn't have had a better run in WWE than he did last year when he was feuding with Kenny Omega. Similar to Big Show, Mark Henry wasn't a part of WWE anymore, and he kind of fleeced Tony Khan for a contract. I'm not entirely sure what he does because his description is pretty vague, but good for him for securing that bag. CM Punk returned to wrestling for the first time in 7 years on the second episode of AEW Rampage in Chicago. It was the perfect debut, and his run in the promotion has been fantastic, especially after that MJF feud. This was a great signing for AEW. WWE releasing Ruby Riott was extremely shocking because she was really good. But anyways, AEW did not want to miss out on the opportunity. They signed Ruby Soho, and she's even been in big matches already. Adam Cole decided to not re-sign with WWE. That was probably the better idea because I don't think he was going to succeed on the main roster. Adam Cole is now in AEW and had just competed for the AEW World title a couple weeks ago against Hangman Adam Page. Daniel Bryan leaving WWE was sad because it felt like he was a big piece of that company, but I will say that his AEW career has been spectacular. It's been a lot of fun to watch, and I'm excited to see where the storyline with Mox goes. Lio Rush has had a weird wrestling career full of so many returns, debuts, and retirements. Rush has had a couple stints with WWE, but then he joined AEW, but then he left again due to the diversity controversy in January. Bobby Fish was released by WWE. On the other hand, Kyle O'Reilly decided to not resign. Both men eventually joined AEW to rejoin forces with Adam Cole once again. Mercedes Martinez was released by WWE, and Tony Khan quickly signed her to a contract because he understands the value of her. Jake Atlas was in WWE in the NXT brand, but after he got released, AEW quickly signed him, and unfortunately though, he did suffer an injury in his first match with AEW, which is just really bad luck. Keith Lee made his debut in AEW in February last month, and the WWE really slept on this man and then had the audacity to let him go. That is wild. I just hope that Tony Khan books him right, because this man is good. Another shocking release is Buddy Murphy. I will never understand why they did release him. It literally makes no sense. But it's a good signing for All Elite Wrestling though, and I can legit see him as a future AEW World Champion. Shane Strickland was in WWE and he's now in AEW. There's not really much else to say about it. I think he'll do well. William Regal is going to be one of AEW's greatest signings ever. Well done, Tony Khan. And the latest ex-WWE wrestler to join AEW is Jeff Hardy. It is a shame that WWE didn't use him, but you already know that he will be tag team champions with his brother very soon. Anyways, that is it for the video, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. I'll see you all in the next video.